You clock in at 11 p.m. By 3 a.m., you're raiding the vending machine for the third time. By morning, you collapse into bed while everyone else is brewing their first coffee. And somehow, despite eating less than your day shift coworkers, the scale keeps creeping up. Sound familiar? If you're a night shift worker watching your waistline expand no matter what you do, you're not crazy. And you're definitely not lazy. Your body is fighting a biological war it was never designed to win. Today, we're exposing exactly why working nights makes you gain weight and what you can actually do about it. The circadian sabotage. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Your body has an internal clock that's been fine-tuned over millions of years of evolution. It's called your circadian rhythm, and it controls everything from your metabolism to your hunger hormones. This clock expects you to be awake when the sun is up and asleep when it's dark. Night shift flips this entire system on its head. When you're awake at 2 a.m. under fluorescent lights, your body doesn't just adjust and carry on. It enters a state of biological confusion. Your metabolism, the rate at which you burn calories, actually slows down during nighttime hours because historically, humans weren't supposed to be eating at night. We were supposed to be sleeping. Research shows that people who work night shifts burn fewer calories doing the same activities compared to day workers. Your body literally becomes less efficient at processing food when you eat during hours. It thinks you should be sleeping. The hormone horror show. Here's where it gets worse. Night shift wreaks havoc on two critical hormones, leptin and ghrelin. Leptin is your I'm full hormone. It tells your brain to stop eating. Ghrelin is your I'm starving hormone. It makes you want to devour everything in sight. When you work nights, your leptin levels drop and your ghrelin levels spike. Translation? You feel hungrier than you actually are, and the signal that you're full arrives late. Or doesn't arrive at all. You're not weak-willed when you eat that entire bag of chips at 4 a.m. Your hormones are literally screaming at you to eat. Studies have found that just one night of sleep deprivation can increase ghrelin by up to 28% and decrease leptin by 18%. Now imagine doing this multiple nights per week, every week. The insulin nightmare. There's another player in this metabolic disaster: insulin. Insulin is the hormone that helps your cells absorb sugar from your blood. When you eat at night, especially carbohydrates and sugars, your body's insulin response is weaker than it would be during the day. This means glucose stays in your bloodstream longer, and your pancreas has to pump out more insulin to get the job done. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, where your cells stop responding to insulin effectively. And insulin resistance is the express lane to weight gain and type 2 diabetes. One study found that people eating the exact same meal at night had blood sugar levels 17% higher than when they ate that same meal during the day. Same food, different time, completely different metabolic outcome. The sleep deprivation double whammy. Even if you get your 7 or 8 hours of sleep during the day, it's not the same quality as nighttime sleep. Daytime sleep is lighter, more fragmented, and less restorative. Poor sleep does two terrible things for your weight. First, it increases cortisol, your stress hormone. High cortisol tells your body to store fat, especially around your midsection. It's a survival mechanism from our ancestor days when stress meant potential famine. Your body thinks it needs to save energy, so it clings to every calorie. Second, sleep deprivation kills your willpower and impulse control. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, literally functions worse when you're sleep-deprived. That's why at 3 a.m., a salad sounds terrible, but a donut sounds like a brilliant idea. The vicious eating cycle. Here's the pattern most night shifters fall into. You wake up in the afternoon, maybe grab something small because you're not really hungry yet. You go to work with good intentions. But by midnight or 1 a.m., genuine hunger hits. The only food available is usually from vending machines, fast food, or whatever you packed hours ago that might not even appeal to you anymore. You eat. But because your hunger hormones are off, you overeat. Then around 4 or 5 a.m., you get that second wind of hunger, partly real, partly because you're exhausted and your brain is desperately seeking energy from anywhere it can get it. You eat again. By the time you get home, you're too tired to make good food choices. You eat something quick, crash into bed, and the cycle repeats. The worst part? You might actually be eating fewer total calories than a day worker, but because of when and how you're eating, your body stores more of it as fat. The activity and emotional trap. You'd think being on your feet all night would help, right? Unfortunately, night shift workers tend to be less physically active overall. During your days off, you're exhausted. You're trying to catch up on sleep, run errands, maybe see your family. The gym? That becomes a fantasy. Even simple activities like walking or light exercise feel impossible when you're chronically fatigued. And let's talk about something people don't discuss enough: the emotional toll. You're isolated. You're eating alone while the rest of the world sleeps. Food becomes comfort, entertainment, and sometimes your only pleasure during a grueling shift. Depression and anxiety rates are higher among night shift workers, and both conditions are strongly linked to weight gain. When you're stressed or down, you crave comfort foods, usually high in sugar and fat, because they temporarily boost serotonin and dopamine, your feel-good brain chemicals. All right, enough doom and gloom. Let's talk solutions, real practical strategies that acknowledge your reality. Strategy 1. Time your eating window. You can't change when you work, but you can control when you eat. Try to compress your eating into an 8 to 10 hour window, even if that window is overnight. This gives your metabolism a consistent rhythm to adapt to. For example, if your shift is 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., eat your first meal around midnight and your last meal by 6 a.m. Then fast during your sleep time and after waking until your next shift. This isn't about restricting calories. It's about giving your body predictable eating patterns. Strategy 2. Prioritize protein and fiber. These two nutrients are your best friends on night shift. Protein keeps you fuller longer and requires more energy to digest. Fiber slows down sugar absorption and feeds your gut bacteria, which influences weight regulation. Pack meals with lean proteins, vegetables, and whole grains. Save the simple carbs and sugars for when you actually need quick energy, not as your dietary foundation. Strategy 3. Manage light exposure. Light is the primary cue for your circadian rhythm. Use bright light during your shift to signal daytime to your body. Then on your way home, wear sunglasses to block morning light. Make your bedroom completely dark with blackout curtains. This helps your body maintain a more consistent internal clock, which can improve your metabolic function. Strategy 4. Planned snacks, not grazing. Instead of constantly nibbling, plan 2 or 3 specific snack times during your shift. Bring whole foods, nuts, fruit, yogurt, vegetables with hummus. Avoid keeping junk food accessible. If it's not there, you can't eat it at 3 a.m. when your willpower is non-existent. Strategy 5. Hydrate strategically. Often, fatigue gets confused with hunger. Drink water consistently throughout your shift. It helps with alertness and can reduce unnecessary snacking. Just taper off a few hours before you plan to sleep so you're not waking up for bathroom trips. Strategy 6. Move when you can. You don't need a gym membership. Take the stairs. Do bodyweight exercises during breaks. Park farther away. Walk during your lunch break. 10 minutes of movement here and there adds up and helps combat the metabolic slowdown. Strategy 7. Protect your sleep. This is non-negotiable. Your sleep environment should be dark, quiet, and cool. Use earplugs, white noise machines, whatever it takes. Those daytime hours of sleep are your metabolic repair time. Treat them as sacred. The bottom line: working night shift and managing your weight isn't about willpower. It's not about trying harder or wanting it more. It's about understanding that your body is working against biological programming and then making strategic choices that account for that reality. You're not broken. The system you're working in just wasn't designed for human biology. But with the right knowledge and approach, you can take back control. If this resonated with you, if you're tired of feeling like you're fighting your body alone, we've got your back. Head to nightshiftershub.com for more strategies, meal plans, and real talk from people who actually work nights. No fluff, no day shift advice disguised as night shift tips. Just practical solutions for the reality you're living. And hit that subscribe button right now. We're building a community of night warriors who refuse to let the shift destroy their health. Drop a comment and tell us your biggest night shift struggle. We read every single one. Remember, the shift may be overnight, but your health doesn't have to suffer in the dark. See you in the next video.